Guys, so I am going to be doing a Dollar Tree meatball recipe. This is what I go to. Honestly, when money was tight in the beginning, when Josh and I purchased our home, basically all of the money that we had went to the house. And if I would make money on the side from babysitting, I didn't want to spend it all on buying a bunch of stuff. So I would go once in a while to Dollar Tree, and I came up with this recipe, and I am going to show it to you guys. I don't know what to call it, so I don't know. It's just something I use and I do all the time. So I have this big pot here. I do a lot of soups in here. I do a lot of other Spanish recipes. I have an onion that I'm going to cut up and throw in there as well. I have a little bit of oil that we're going to put in there. I have these 2 steamable bags of mixed veggies, but we're not going to steam them. They're frozen. We're just going to throw them in the pot. I grabbed 4 bags of the meatballs. You can grab more because if your family is bigger, you could grab more, but I think 4 for us will be perfectly fine. We're going to be using this adobo from Goya. It's all-purpose seasoning. And then we're going to be using this one too. Sorry, I almost said something in Spanish. This one as well. And it's just a little bit to give it some flavor, some salt, some pepper, some oregano, and a little bit of garlic. This is from Dollar Tree. And then some crushed tomatoes. And then when you throw the tomato can, like the whole thing of tomato in there, you should fill it up a little bit with water and throw that in there. So I'm going to show you after I cut the onions, after I cut the onions and put the oil and the garlic in there, I will show you everything else. Alright guys, so I put my oil, I cut my onions, and then I put a tablespoon of garlic, and I'm just gonna put it on high, like medium high a little bit, and then let that cook up a little, and then I will show you guys afterwards what I do next. So I already opened the can for it to be just ready for me to dump in. I am waiting for this to start cooking up. It's getting hot. I should have preheated the stove top, but I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I feel it getting hot. But as soon as it comes, starts bubbling up, I will come back. Alright guys, so this one's taking a little bit longer. I don't know why my stovetop, like I said, I should have preheated it. So I'm just going to add the tomato sauce in, and then I am going to put water in there, swoosh it up a little bit, and then throw it back in here. And I will show you guys that afterwards. Alright guys, so I have my water, so I'm just going to dump that in. And then I think I'm going to do one more full can of the water, so all of the meatballs and the vegetables can be filled up. I'm going to do that, and then as soon as I'm done, I will show you everything else. Alright guys, so I'm just going to dump the water again, and then I am going to mix it up. Oops, sorry, I'm going to mix it up a little bit, so all of the tomato that's in there can dissolve. And I'm going to let this get a little bit hot. I think I'm going to switch stoves, like burners, because for some reason this one's not getting hot as I want it to. So I'll be right back. Alright, I stayed at the same burner. It's heating up a little bit. I'm always having problem with this one. So yeah, I am going to put all of the other ingredients in it, and then I will show everything else. Alright guys, so I'm just going to add a little bit of it. Like I said, you guys can always taste it. If it does taste good, if it needs more of any of the other ingredients, you just put them in. A little bit of salt. Oregano. Alright, so So for the pepper, I'm going to have to use 2 hands because it's a grinder, and then I have to open that. And I will put that in, and then I will show you guys when I put the meatballs and everything else in. It's already getting hot, so I don't want to touch it that much. Alright, so I just mixed everything after I put all of the ingredients in. I only used a little bit of that. And again, with the pepper and the salt and the oregano and the adobo, you put as much as you want in there, and then, you know, with your finger or with a spoon, you can taste it, and if it doesn't come out, you know, if it needs more salt, add more salt. If it needs anything else, then you just add it. I can't tell you how much I add. I just taste it, and then if I feel like I need more, I add more. And then I'm going to open all of the bags of the meatballs, and I will show you all of the meatballs and the 2 bags of vegetables in the pot already. Alright guys, so the 2 bags of vegetables and the 4 bags of meatballs are already in there. And I'm just going to mix that up. Alright, sorry, I taste tested mine and I need a little bit more salt. So, just gonna sprinkle it around, mix it. And you guys can see like all of the meatballs, the onions, the veggies are awesome in there. And then I will let that sit for a couple hours. It is 3:55, so maybe like 5 o'clock or a little bit less. I just want this to start boiling, and as soon as it boils, I will turn it back down to medium and just let it, I just want it to thicken up because I don't want it so watery. So I'm going to do that, let it sit for a while because the steam is coming up, as you guys can see. So that means it's heating up. I want it to start heating up a little bit more and start bubbling, so then I can put it back down to medium heat. And I will be right back. Alright, do you guys see it's starting to like smoke up and bubble up a little bit here and there? And I'm just gonna keep stirring it a little bit once in a while. That looks so good. It smells really good. While this is bubbling up, I want to talk really quickly and say that when I started making this recipe, it was when Josh and I first purchased our home, and money was tight. We didn't have a lot of money to be able to go and buy a ton of stuff, because, you know, just paying basically for everything in the home, and I understand that, you know, that was our choice to do that, but, you know, him working, me making money on the side, and just making sure that we kept everything still paid and up to date and was never behind, money sometimes was tight. And I would like wander off and go to Save a Lot and Dollar Tree, and, you know, for $5 or $10 you can find a meal, an amazing meal. You can make it. I've heard people say, oh no, you know, Dollar Tree, you know, doesn't have really good stuff. It does have good things. You just have to weed out the bad and find the good. And to me, this is one of my go-to things. So I don't know, when money is tight, this is awesome to go to and buy like 4 bags of meatballs, sorry, and 2 bags of vegetables, a can of tomato sauce, and then a bag of rice from Dollar Tree, and you can feed your family, and no one has to go to bed hungry. and you see these sad things that go around. But I know this has nothing to do with the cooking video, but I just wanted to let you guys know why I started making little small recipes like this from the Dollar Tree, because when money was tight, this Dollar Tree basically helped me, you know. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. As you guys can see, it's starting to bubble up. So it's starting. And then I'm going to make the rice as well on my rice cooker, rice maker, because Josh does not like when I do the rice in the stovetop. He says I make it too crunchy. So I'm going to be doing that, and I will show you guys how I make that as well if you don't know. Alright guys, so this is where I keep my rice. It might look funny to somebody, but to me, this is, I don't know, I've seen my mom, my grandmother, just keep it in like one of these things. I got this from Dunkin' Donuts thanks to my friend Alyssa. She's the manager there, and I always tell her to save me like the gallon size glaze or whatever frosting that they have, and then I rinse it off and then let it dry for a couple days, and then I just add my rice. So I'm going to get just a regular rice, like a cup of rice. I have to use 2 hands. Oh god. I'm gonna have to use this looks super funny to me. Alright. Make sure it's like you pat it down. Alright, so I have this in here. I'm going to do that. That's just 1 cup, and that 1 cup feeds myself, Destiny, Josh, and leftovers. So I am going to wash the rice, and then I will show you guys everything else. Alright guys, so I'm going to grab that same cup. Don't mind my dishes. I'm going to grab that same cup, fill it up all the way to the top, and then pour it back into the container where the rice is, and then fill it up halfway. And there you go. Mommy, can you bring me the salt? I'm going to put some oil. And then I'll put the salt and everything else. So I'm going to be using this to give it a little flavor because I want my rice to be yellow today. Today I want it yellow. And then I am going to grab a spoon. And you guys have to understand, I'm like doing this one-handed, so. Alright, and then I am going to show you guys, after I put it in here, it's basically the same. You taste test it. If it needs more salt, you add salt to it, and then you can connect it to the plug, and then it says warm and cook. You obviously put it on cook, and then you put the top on it, and you're perfectly fine to go. And then I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so it's there, it's cooking, it's gonna start. Now this has been boiling. I had to turn it down because it was on the medium heat, and it was like boiling too much. So I'm going to put it like medium low, medium low, and then I'm going to get the cover and then just leave it like that so a little bit of the hot air can come out. And then I will show you guys after it's plated when we eat. Oh. It's like when I was like trying to connect the thing, it was like dirt. If that makes any sense. But yeah, I am going to let that go, and I will show you guys after everything is plated. Guys, so the rice is basically done, and I am going to plate this for myself. I have to check if the girls want any. Alright, so my rice, and then my meatballs. It's still on, I put it on low. It's still getting there, but I am pretty hungry, and it is thickening up from when we first started. So I'm going to serve myself, and then I am going to show you guys everything after I have it plated, and I'm going to be adding some tomatoes as well. Alright guys, so there's plenty for, you know, Josh to eat now than for him to have for work and the girls. And then that's my plate, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley, like the dry parsley, and it's just basically for pretty. And I put salt and pepper on my tomatoes. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Leave me your comments below, and subscribe, and let me know if there's any other requests that you guys want me to do. I am going to be making 2 other recipes with the Dollar Tree meatballs. This is number 1.